right? So we do have a mix-up with this pot. I call it a 14, it could be a 12, I don't know. Kenny Bonded has switched vendors on the oval, okay? We didn't get the correct one, here again, because it's a different vendor. The show will get it within 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, if this is one of the pots that you want, come back and purchase it, and we're sorry about that. But things happen, okay? Especially when they weren't gonna make this pot anymore. But Kenny Bonded was gracious enough that they searched until they found one. So that's why we're gonna hold up on it. So we have the hanging basket. We don't have one here. They are over there. So if you're gonna have an ivy, those do well because it hangs. The 10-inch round, this is your 10-inch round right here. We do have those back there. And then so it's the 14 edible. It's a huge pot. How many of you have been through the division and seen some of those huge tomato plants, the huge cabbage plants? Okay, so we need a huge pot. So here it is. And it's the only thing that can go in these pots is an edible entry. That's it. A tomato, a cabbage, that class, okay? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Oh, the trellis. We have tomato cages. That's the only other entry that can have a support like that. And we will have the same trellis. It's done upright, vertical, and horizontal. This is a vertical one, okay? We will have these within 2-3 weeks. And usually you don't need them right now, so that buys us a little time to get them done. This is a lot lighter than what we've had, and it's also cedar, which does not rot. So that's why we're waiting to get the right one. Okay, and let me see, what else do we have? Tomato cages, we do have some in the back. And that is it, the terrarium. I understand we're having a hard time finding the terrarium jars, but they will have them, give them 2 more weeks, and they should have the terrarium, okay? And that is it. Okay, so now we're going to go through every class. So the first one we have is foliage. Who can tell me what foliage is? Does it bloom? Come on. No. Foliage plants do not bloom, although this puts out a little bud. But it's known just for its leaves, the greenery, the colors. This one is variegated, very, very attractive plant. So any plant that does not bloom is considered a foliage. Your ivies can go into different classes. It can be a trailing vine, or it can be a foliage, okay? Succulents. All right, so succulents should not be more than 3 years old, and the judge is the one who makes that decision. If he or she feels that a succulent is more than 3 years old or wants to disqualify it, that's their decision. We have nothing to, okay. And you need to have at least 3 varieties. This one here, whoops, watch. This one here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? You can add more. This is just for today, sample. The other thing, pros and cons, if it were me, this one needs a little more color, even though the judges talk about thrill, fill, and spill. So here's your spiller. This is your thriller. It's going up, and your filler is all the little ones that fill your pot. Okay. So I would definitely add more color to it. So you need to have at least 3 different kinds of succulents. Class 3 is your trailing vines. So anything that trails is a vine, right? Believe it or not, I bought this summer for $2 on clearance at Walmart. Go buy it now at Lowe's or Walmart, and it's going to be $14 and up. So if you're a plant lover like me, every time I go to Walmart or any of those, I'm out there checking their plants. And I buy cheap plants and nurse them into good health. And sometimes I do kill them, okay? So I'm not the greatest, but I try. $2, guys, and you can't beat that, okay? So, and these are the ones that need a trellis. There you go. You want to just hold it, yeah. So the trellis supports your vine, all right? So anything, this is a mandevilla, but anything that, and it blooms. So if you can get a mandevilla to bloom at showtime, you're gonna have a winner. They're beautiful. Or for that matter, any trailing vine that's blooming. The ferns. Our fern is right here. And this is a recycled plant from last year. This is a heron's foot fern. And believe it or not, it's done very well with our hot summer. It does have some dead foliage, but for the most part, it is thriving. It's doing good. We have had quite a bit of rain, and I guess that's why it's looking good. So what I'm trying to say, it's a good specimen to buy. I know I've seen these at Lowe's. So, heron's foot fern. Yeah, make sure, so that's another reason why we left it like this. Make sure that on show day, or before you come, you have cleaned up your plant. The plant as well as the pot. So, I'm sorry, what did I say? All this dead foliage, leaves, remove them, okay? You want your plant to look like $1,000,000, all right? And go back, you know, always make it look, it's a representation of you, all right? So, bulbs. And you can, and here again you can do the research, but bulbs are very tricky. And this poor guy, I messed it up last night. When I pulled, it was growing in another pot with another plant, so I needed to separate it, and I broke off the bulb. But it was good because you get to see it is a bulb. And look at this beautiful foliage. So is caladiums a good sample of a bulb? Definitely, if you can. It's droopy because I just pulled it out right and I heard it. It did have a few roots, but the fact that this is its bulb, that's great. If you can get them to grow. I have started to use a new fertilizer that I bought at HEB, and it's organic, and I bought it for herbs, but I have found that it does well on everything, especially these guys. Look at it. It wouldn't be, this is not their season. And look how beautiful it is. Well, I think it's beautiful, but you know, it was growing with another one, so it was competing. But a very good bulb sample. Terrariums. All right, terrariums can also be a little tricky, so you need to know what you're doing. You always want to put charcoal on the bottom, on your base, and gravel. So do your research. I think it's about 1 inch or so of charcoal, the one you use for aquariums, and then your gravel, the small gravel. Do not use the big chunky gravel. You want the small one, probably no more than 2 centimeters. and then you apply your soil. Now, this plant right here, that is a, oh, I can't find the name. Let's see. What is it? I think it's, okay, I thought it had the name. Okay, it is an exotic plant, but this is a very good terrarium plant. However, in your terrariums, you want your terrarium to look like a little miniature forest. So you need a combination of plants, not just one or two or three. Maybe if you can, get 4. Now you're working in a very limited space. All right, so be careful, be selective with your plants. Yeah. And I got this at Walmart, but you can get them at Lowe's, and Lowe's has a great variety. But you want to start with your smaller plants. Or this one has 2 or 3 in there, I believe. So separate them carefully, and then you can use the rest somewhere. I was going to use it in the combination. So you can, have several entries with one plant. The terrarium. I can't stress enough to do the research there, so you can do very well. And last year we had a huge terrarium class. A lot of interest in the terrarium. Collection of herbs. Oh, yes. No, it should just be soil. And no little figurines, no larger rocks, nothing like that. Just the plant and the soil. Okay, or the plants. All right, so here we have collection of herbs. You need at least 3 varieties, and this is not the best sample. We've got chives, we've got parsley, and then we have some basil. And so that's all you need. However, I would not just plant 3, because what happens if your basil dies? Now you only have 2. So are you being competitive? No. So I would plant 4 or 5 herbs in one container. Always have some backup to help you, okay? Also, you may want to research which herbs grow best with each other. Some don't like to grow with other herbs, okay? Or some are gonna get too leggy. The secret with herbs is pinch them back. When you pinch them back, you maintain their height, and also they become fuller. So you want that. Combination. So our combination entry, you need to have at least 2 different kinds of plants. And here again, I would add 3. So if one dies, you have a backup. And I think this is a very good example of variation. This could be your thrill. Well, this is your thrill. It's not even a filler. This is your filler, but look at the color. So you've got the green and the yellow, the purplish tones, and then the green. By the way, this is a miniature one. I didn't know there was a miniature one. This is miniature Swiss cheese.
I call it the Swiss cheese.
So, but all 3 of these plants grow very well together. This one can survive anything, but this one needs a little moisture, and so does this one. Okay, so, but it goes very well with these. The edible, which we've talked about right here. Okay, and last night I was gonna purchase a jalapeno plant, and it looked sick. It looked and that was the best one that Walmart had. So I said, I'm not paying $14 for this. So I put it back, but only edibles, like we mentioned, can go in here, and you can only have one entry. Last year, I know there was a jalapeno plant, and when they first potted it, it was small, and it grew to fill the plant, but not totally. So you may consider your peppers. Yes. Yes, even though it's small and you only want one pepper plant in here, okay? The same thing with your tomatoes, only one tomato plant. Tomatoes you're okay because they will fill out, okay? Right, and this is, okay, so I know last year we had one tomato entry and it was topping over. So how do you prevent that from happening? Keep pinching your tomato plant back. The last time you want to pinch is maybe 4 weeks before the show, 6 weeks. After that, do not pinch anymore, but you can enhance how it looks if you pinch up to 6 weeks before the show, okay? So you won't have that problem of it, and you have to have help when you move it. So these are all our classes. So you can select, and as we mentioned, you can select 3 of these. You can have a succulent garden, you can have a vine, and you can have a blooming plant. Did I forget the blooming? I think I did. Yeah. Yes. Okay. The growing tip. Yeah. Right here? Okay. So the question was, what is pinching? So this is the basil. When you just pinch the growing tip, I'm going to get more than the growing tip. And really, this one needs to be pinched back from way down here. Okay? So what that does, it forces it to grow to the sides and not just straight up. So it's going to make your pot look fuller. And this one should have been pinched back a while back. Okay. These I just pulled up. This is a rescue plant too, but there's 3, and you need to have at least herbs. Yeah, at least 3. But remember, plant 4 or 5. Okay, because if one dies, you have a backup one. And I think I did forget the flowering, which is class 4. Flowering tends to go well in one of these round pots. That one is not planted. It's just set in there. But this is a good plant for a round, for a good sample for a blooming. We did have one year, and it was beautiful. I think this one did have its name. Where is it? Anthurium? It's an anthurium, okay? So just here again, Aggie Horticulture is a very good website for plant information. So look it up. And then you'll find quite a bit of other websites that have a lot of great information. Okay, yes.